Digital world, we're all connected. Alicia Kingston's about to hit the stage. You won't be rejected. Leader of the pack, she's got that soulful sound. Get ready for the ride, cause she's here to astound.
She's got the tenfold theory, got you thinking deep, exploring the unknown, secrets that you'll keep. Ginger ale queen, sipping on the throne. The lyrics like bubbles rise and break on their own. Live stream's about to start. Get ready for the show. Alicia Kingston in the house, ready to let it all flow. From June to House of the Dragon, she'll take you on a ride. Reviewing your favorite shows with soulful lyrics on her side.
One more time, arriving into the wasteland, as it will.
I love you so much. You're gonna be so mad, but we can't hear you.
Cabron. He's going to be joking.
It's like you're far away and like coming in and out.
Testing.
That's better.
Better. Fucks.
And it's still going in and out.
It was fine just 2 seconds ago when we were talking backstage, y'all. So how was your day, Meeks?
Great. I spent money. I got my laptop, but it's not here yet. So hopefully it'll be here tomorrow so that I can move all my stuff. So many things.
My fingers are crossed for you.
It's so much stuff.
Have a working machine.
Mm-mm.
Goodness gracious. Like it's so absurd. Hey JD. Hey Luke. Hey Casey. Look, they coming for me, man. I don't know. Like we literally were hearing each other and speaking just fine backstage a couple seconds ago. But as soon as I hit go live, now here it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to make it do what it do while we're here. Let me know if it gets real bad. I'll just go out and restart. Hopefully it doesn't get to that though. Boy. Where are we starting here, Meeks?
I think this is the one where we are back in Vault 4 with Lucy and Maxie. Lucy got herself into a bit of a pickle. A little bit of a pickle. Mm-hmm. She was being nosy on level 12 and got herself snatched up. And so now they're gonna I think they said that they were gonna punish her or put her on trial. I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was, she was freaked out about it because it made it seem like they was gonna kill her.
I mean, technically, one could say she did get a death sentence. Technically, actually, real quick before we continue on that, we started off with Coop, where the father and son was out in the field.
Oh yeah, I thought that was episode 8. Don't mind me. I really haven't seen the last 2 episodes. Oh my gosh, my eyeball is itching and killing me. So don't mind me. Trying to assassinate my character.
7.
But yeah.
Yes. So Pops came in and found Coop sitting there eating whatever type of meat that was, and Pops was a little worried because when he went outside, his daughter was home, and Coop being an asshole like Coop does, he really did sit there and let that man think that the meat on the plate was butter. But then she came in and brought him some juice, so Pops breathed a sigh of relief.
And by the way, Dad was Eric Estrada.
Was it?
Yes, he was. Dad was Eric Estrada.
It sure was.
I looked at him and I was like, "Is that Eric Estrada?" Immediately. Yeah, that's him.
I know
That's
something
him.
about his face, but I didn't go and try to look it up.
Girl, the way I could recognize some of these people, it don't make no sense. But then I'd be looking at people like, I don't know who this person is.
And that you very rarely remember names all the time, like right away. It takes a second. You got to look up where they were.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I have to just remember another character that they were on something else, and that's how I refer to them.
It's usually instant, or I got to look it up.
That's what Google's for.
Listen, the best. Mm-hmm.
So, Coop is on a mission to find Moldaver, as it were, and he's trying to get some information from this boy and his dad. Dad really don't know nothing, but Dad does have another son that was out there that Coop had run into, and that's how he knew how to find him. And the dad didn't know what was going down because he wasn't trying to be a part of the cult, as he called. His sons, however, had a different story, and instead of giving the knowledge that he was asked for, the son, little stupid Tommy, and yes, I'm calling you stupid, Tommy, because you tried to shoot this dude.
All you had to do was let it go. All you had to do was let it go.
All you had to do was tell him they're over there. Like, that's literally it.
That's all you had to do.
What you thought you were protecting.
And that's why you got shot. That's why you got shot right in the chest arm area. Very important spot. You got shot.
That man, yep. And that man now only, he might have survived. I don't know. I think they left it open.
They did.
They
did leave it open.
Because I don't think that kid's gonna be able to do a whole lot, even if he does survive.
And
that's just the mission that Coop is on right now. We're basically, for like these 2 episodes, they're a convergence of sorts. Like, everyone is trying to get to somewhere, and not everybody knows that they're actually all on the same side quest, but they're coming at it from different angles. So it's actually quite interesting to see how it all goes, because we bounce back and forth from the past to the present a lot in these episodes.
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me look at these dials here a little bit. Continue, Meeks.
So I had a feeling. Well, here's the thing. I felt bad for them at first because when he picked up that note and he had the little hole in it, and he was like, "This is who I talked to before." I was just like, "Oh." But if you did that, that means you got the information because it was in the letter, right? But all you needed was a place, so all you do have to get up and get out, right? You just had to get up and leave. You didn't have to stay there. You didn't have to stay there. You could have got the information and left. He didn't have to shoot him, but I understand where he was going, but he didn't have to. He was just being an ass at that. He was being an asshat. Okay.
I mean, that's what he do, though.
That is true. However, if you're looking for information, why are you playing with kids? Leave them kids alone.
It was rude. He was out of
pocket.
pocket.
Leave him churn be.
100% he was out of pocket. Because you knew well come in there and think that you had his daughter carved up and cooked in his kitchen. And of course, Coop, he gonna laugh at him because we like Coop, but Coop's an asshole,
Yeah, I would have left and burned the house down if that was the case. I wouldn't even said anything. I would just walked outside and then the house would have been on fire. Because I know you're a ghoul, so you can survive radiation, but I don't know if you can survive flames.
Exactly.
In the game, I can burn you. In the game, I can shoot you. There are some guns that disintegrate. So technically, I'm gonna need you to stop playing with people. Thank you so very much. But was he able to see the place where Moldaver was at from that location, or did he just know where they were talking about?
I think he may have known.
Okay.
Because the boy didn't really give him a straightforward answer, but he still got there anyway.
I think he said he was at the conservatory or something like that. Is that where they were? The conservatory? It was something. Was it a conservatory?
What that place was called. I don't remember what that place was called, actually.
I feel like it's a conservatory. I'm gonna stick with that one because I wasn't sure if he was able to see it from where he was. He was like, "Oh yeah, that over there. Okay, I'm gone," or if he just knew which direction to go into. But But after that, then we jump back into Vault 4, right?
Yes. Then we're back to Vault 4, where
Mm-hmm.
she's basically being put on trial, kind of, and then she figures out, because she's all in her self-righteous phase still, and they tell her, you know what, here, why don't you just watch this if you really wanted to see what was going down. And she's accusing them, like, y'all were doing horrible experiments on that lady. I saw what I saw. Yeah, we know what you saw, but we know that you're interpreting these things the wrong way. See, this is why we told you not to go down there in the first place. But here's the footage. And she watches, and then she finds out that, oh, those experiments were from the people that were in charge before. Like your dad that was running these damn vaults. They were being horrific. And then there was a rebellion. And now some people, from no design of their own, have not been to the wasteland for that form of radiation, but they still have those extra growths all over their bodies because of what past people have done. And that's an eye-opener for her. And I feel like if she would have maybe asked a couple more questions in conversation, she would have found all of this out.
She would have.
And she wouldn't have had to get this treatment and get kicked out. But on the way to getting kicked out, they put a bag over her head and they're leading down the hallway. And I guess because it's no thing for security to be doing security things, they're not trying to cover up what they're doing with her at all. And they walk right past Maximus. Walk right past his room.
He relaxing.
And he stops for a second and he looks down, his delicious ass popcorn right there. Homie's still in his robe. And he's thinking, like, do I really need to go save her though?
And then he does. He's a good guy. He's like chaotic. Chaotic good. Because he tries.
I don't know.
Chaotic neutral?
He can go either way. I think. Depending on the situation. I would
say chaotic neutral. I like that one.
Yeah, I think that fits for him.
So he was like, shit, now I got to get up and go save her. But before I save her, I'm going to go steal.
Not let me go some weapons. No, let me go.
I didn't even think about him stealing that core until he just looked at, the next scene with him looking at it. I was like, that's trifling.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get to suit the movie anyway.
I'm like, that's trifling. So you just going to take their power. Okay, that's trifling. Exactly. But go ahead, sir.
He takes this thing and runs in all guns blazing, let her go, and blah, 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 bro. I don't know what happened to that man that he tossed out the way, come in, destroying all of the popcorn. Sir, what did the popcorn table do?
Through a Nuka-Cola machine.
That's hell. And the Nuka-Cola machine. Sir.
Tossed it.
Do you know the hot commodities that these things are? And you just in here wasting these people good products. And Bill Lucy has to come up and say, hey, they were letting me go.
Yeah, like they gave me a to-go package and they were going to carry it up there with snacks and stuff for me to leave. And you kind of,
sir. 2 weeks. Long enough for 2 weeks.
Sir.
He was like, oh, oops.
Yeah, I did like that he said oops. I did appreciate that.
Like the two of y'all, it makes so much sense that they would end up in each other's spheres because what the hell? Learn how to talk, please, before you just start throwing punches and shooting guns and stuff. What's wrong with y'all?
It was an emergency situation. It was an emergency situation.
She was literally in no danger.
He was like, help. And he was like, I'm coming. And he did. He did. He cleaned the house. And I just knew that when they went outside finally, and she was like, listen, we can't take this fusion core. And he was like, but I need it. Here's the chaotic neutral of it all. But I need this.
Yep.
Me.
Yep.
And you take it from me, then I can't use my suit. And I need to use my suit so that I can help me, you, and other people. And I can't give it back.
Exactly. That's not yours. And literally a whole civilization will die because of you in this suit. And let's be real, you ain't really been that great with this suit, bro.
Because he don't know what to do with this damn suit. So he was like, no, I think I need it. With the serious of faces. I'm pretty sure I need it.
There.
Yeah.
He really had to sit there and ponder whether he was going to give it back or not.
Well, she had to convince him to, like, listen, we can't just sit here and do this to these people. They didn't deserve that. They tried to help us. They gave you a hot shower, sir. You ain't never been clean like that before.
With his own apartment for free.
You ain't never gonna be clean like that ever again, sir. Like,
you have no bills.
You can't do that to them. But I did think it was cute when he was like, okay, fine. And then they went right back to the hospital to drop it into the chute. I was like, see.
I have one final thought there, though, in that leaving. Like, bro, you left it like right there out in the open on the side of the road. Did you happen to see the back of the building that y'all walked past that was like all in shadow under that little doorway? Like, you didn't want to maybe walk the suit over there and leave it in the shadow?
Well, at this point, it's completely worthless until he has another fusion core. Like, nobody can move it without a fusion core. The most they can do is strip it for parts. But since it is with them, they're probably going to take it back down where they had it before because they picked it up before. Mm-hmm. So I figured they would just go ahead and snatch it and put it back.
Hopefully that would probably be the best thing that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, maybe make a little small forethought of, hey, I can just have them come back and pick this up if it doesn't get stolen first. But he left it right there and out in the open. So I mean, he did.
He left it right next to the vault entrance, actually. Right next to the vault entrance.
So absurd. Like these two don't always think more than like 2 seconds.
No, they got a mission. They're trying to think for the mission. Wait, is this the episode where we actually see what happens to Thaddeus's foot?
Yeah, with the chicken fucker guy. I think so.
Like we actually get to see him take off the boot for the first time, and that little toe was dangling. Is that this? Is that this episode where it was dangling?
Mm-hmm,
it made my mouth juicy.
It literally was just sitting in that sock, that disgusting sock and shoe, just marinating. And he calls it correctly when he looks at it. He says, "Oh, I'm gonna die."
Oh, yeah. That's
septic already.
Infection. Yeah. You had exposed bone. Yeah.
Several exposed bones.
Yeah.
Like that's no light thing that happened to your foot, my guy.
The way I didn't think that it was that bad. I'm like, oh, he must have like stepped on a little bit. No. Oh my God. He tore that thing. Ooh.
Able to get any use out of it at all.
I'm surprised he was able to walk. Like the way I would have collapsed. Like unless he had a stem pack and that stem pack numbed his whole body. I don't understand how it works.
Exactly.
I need an answer. Like, oh God, no. And he went far limping on that foot until he took off his bloody sock. And then the dog tried to eat the toe.
And the poor dog coming up there, he's like, hey, that is not food. Puppy, what you been killing out here in the wasteland?
The puppy was trying to eat the thing.
No, Garcia.
I can't. But he ended up like ditching the dog because the dog was trying to eat his foot or something. He just got tired of the dog.
He just got tired of the dog and he put that poor puppy in the freaking empty soda can thing.
The vending machine sideways, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Trash.
Like, bro, you're rude and you're super trash for that.
Trash. Oh, look, there's a hole you can breathe. Okay, trash.
You're right. Talking about, oh, you even got a window view. Look at that. You be all right.
Garbage. As he continues to walk, how did he know to go to the radio? Oh no, never mind. The ghoul told him to go to the radio station. The chicken fucker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like, how do you know to go there? But we're not there yet. I was just confused. I asked the question.
What the hell? I don't even know what to call it. He calls it a serum, I think, but it's some random ass concoction to where I think even he was surprised that it worked.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's the same thing that Coop takes that keeps him, that sustains him, but it just turned him into a ghoul. I wish I knew what it was. It has to be some sort of radiation and something.
It's some form of highly concentrated radiation because it fixed his foot right up. But that guy knew immediately, like, well, if you go into certain places, they're like super high in radiation. I mean, but you can go ahead and go over there. You ain't got to worry about that.
Didn't even trigger in his head. He's like, what? I'm like, sir.
It didn't.
sir. The moment his foot actually healed and repaired itself, I was like, oh, you one of them now. Okay. Well, good luck with that, because the Brotherhood don't like that. Because a lot of people are a little confused on the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood is pretty much a fanatical organization. They don't play. Okay, if you are not human, they ain't got nothing to do with you. Matter of fact, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna try to kill you. Quickly. So
yeah, the Brotherhood, like everyone's talking about how Moldova is running this random ass cult and whatnot. I feel like the Brotherhood is more of a cult than anything else.
Yeah, the Brotherhood is definitely a cult. Definitely a cult. And you'll see it in like, I want to say you'll see it more in, I think, New Vegas. 3, New Vegas, and 4. You'll see it. Especially in 4. Especially in 4 when you have to make choices and decide who you're going to align yourself with. I never. I go right into the Brotherhood and just, use them to purchase weapons and to stock up, but I would never. I'm not choosing you. You're not telling me what to do. Lies.
Not at all. Not
Lies.
At all.
Deceit. Trash.
What,
I'm trying to figure out. Oh yeah, I forgot. Isn't this the episode where Norm also goes back into 32?
This is where the split, they get the assignments of who's
okay
going to.
Because he didn't go to 32, he went back to 33 and snuck. Okay, I'm trying to figure out like.
Yeah, they give the announcement and everyone is figuring out where they're going, and we knew it was coming because Blind Al was not going to let the too much mess go on. But before they did that, he was feeding delivering the food to the prisoners as they heard, and we get to see the prisoners they're calming down. I think because their numbers are dwindling pretty like a lot faster than they should be.
No, they actually were killed all at once.
Well, I know, but they still showed like 1 or 2 different times that he brought them food before that announcement came that all of them seem to have been poisoned. So they've either been slowly getting poisoned or they just put one big shot into that last meal that we saw him deliver, and that took all the rest of them out. Because by the time he came back around with dinner, no one was there to eat anything.
Everybody was pale.
Pale and dead. Very.
My question to you is, because they get rid of the bodies in the compactor, right? They go ahead and like a compost. They can do it compost. Yeah. Would it be, if they died of poison, isn't it bad to compost them?
Yeah, I don't think you would want to have any of those infected cells in there. I mean, it's possible that the heat is high enough that it could kill off whatever things could come from that, possibly, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Because that's a lot of bodies that you got to figure out what to do with it. And since y'all don't open up outside, so you can't throw them outside. You got to do something with them.
Right. You can't. Yeah, you can't really hold them anywhere or anything. And you wouldn't want to bury them in the corn room because that would contaminate your ground straight away. Yuck. So I guess putting them through the compost through that whole thing, because there's several different steps into making compost. So I'm thinking that's where they will purify the remains or whatnots.
Because I'm like, that makes sense. That's a lot of bodies.
I don't know all of the ins and outs of that.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many bodies that y'all have to get rid of, but they're all poison, so you don't want to mix them. But maybe you should, because you ain't got a place to put them. But yeah, that's just me just wondering what happened to the bodies, because I would loot and pollute. I'm stealing everything they got, and then I'm gonna politely fold them into a can.
Politely, no, they were horrible. I would say I would disrespectfully fold them into all of the cans.
I will fold them into the barrels and be like, don't open this.
Right.
I put a sign on it. Do not open.
Do not open.
Juicy. Look, juicy. Because if you open it at this point, the gas is going to explode it. So leave it alone.
All of the wrong ways. Yeah. We don't like those. We don't consign to that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. So Blind Al, I think, is who orchestrated this whole thing, and
he
put it up to where one of the guards, I think it was the same guard that he gave the Jello cake to.
bleh. But yes,
they're pulling her away and saying, you know, I wouldn't do this, and I fully believe that she didn't. And immediately, once Norm sees that blind, here comes Blind Alley. I told you, you have to watch
what you say.
Bitch, what the hell do you mean?
People are listening.
Okay, but I wasn't saying shit to nobody though. Like Norm literally was not in here to the most he said to that guard was, "Hey, you want this cake? Ain't nobody gonna know if I gave it to you."
Mm-hmm.
So what are you talking about, ma'am?
Well, I was also thinking that it might have been like a combination between, well, like a collaboration between her and the eye patch, because eye patch was already like, fuck them.
Oh, Steph. Well, yeah, because she's from Vault 31 also.
Steph was already like, fuck them.
yeah. And I don't think, well, I mean, I feel like I think Blind Owl's on the same thing. She just is more political and moving.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just more strategic reasons to try to like hide it in the whatever the shenanigans of the vault. Man. But was it the episode previous that she cleaned up the vault?
Yep. That's when that she introduced that, you know, well, I've talked to the overseer of 31 and we don't think we should let this vault go to waste. So we're gonna choose who's gonna be going over there and helping to bring those resources back so we can get back to the back and forth that we used to have with 32 and all that other blase nonsense. So Norm actually within this is where we get him going off on another side quest.
Because everybody was preparing to leave, right?
And poor Woody tried not to go, but then security came out and he was like, okay, my bad, I'm sorry.
Security didn't even come out. Security was just like there. And he was like, and turn around, oh shit.
He was like, oh, my bad, sorry.
No. But it was interesting who they picked, because at first I was confused as to why they were picking the people they were picking, but then I realized they picked the people who would follow instructions no matter what to go over to 32.
All of the easy people.
Yep. And that's why Norm's ass had to stay where he was.
That's why Norm had to stay where he was, because Steph wouldn't have been able to handle Norm.
No. Because Kizzy can barely handle Norm.
So, and also they had to separate the two of them one way.
They did.
One of them was always going to be going to the other vault. And Norm sees all this, and Chet, he's with it. He doesn't care. He actually is like, you know what, this could be a great place for me to start over. I'm gonna worry about that nonsense. And Steph, as we see, is going to be like the interim overseer. I think she's gonna be the overseer. Period. They just trying to make it sound pretty. And that was that. So during this little ceremony, Norm goes off and he tiptoes into the overseer room and gets on the computer and I guess in the way he was talking, who was supposed to be the overseer on 31 was like, are you distressed? Is something wrong? And Norm plays into it. Well, no, things aren't going as they should go with the plan. He's like, okay, come to Vault 31 immediately. And Norm goes over there, and then it goes to black. We switch things up. So, wait, I think we jumped back. Did we jump back to Coop?
I think we did, with like a flashback from the like after he went to the meeting and saw Moldaver, and Moldaver was like, hey, maybe you should think about, investigating your wife's situation. And she gave him that bug. Right. And so he spent most of the day, like the next day, trying to figure out whether or not to do it. He was like double dutching, like trying to figure out he's gonna put it in there and take it off, put it in there and take it off. And I think he finally decided to do it. Didn't he overhear like a phone call or something? And it was like half of a phone call or something like that. And he was like,
no, he tested it out at home while she was in the backyard with their daughter. And he stopped, and he didn't want to do it. And he's still going back and forth with it. And that night he was watching a TV commercial, the same commercial that he filmed with the people from Vault 4. No, we know what happened at Vault 4. And from what they were saying at the end of that, how like the scientists are going to, be the overseers and whatnot for this vault and see how that goes. And it was just something in the way they said it. He was like, you know what? Let me go get that, because he threw it away. So he had to go back and dig through the trash. And the next day, I think he was glad that he did that because that's when he finds out like all of fuckery.
Yeah,
That's
all the meeting situation, he puts it on her. And then if you noticed, we see oh my god, what is his name? Bud. You see Bud in that little fucking car. That little teeny tiny ass car with that bulb on it. I was like, I see what you did there.
Look like a fake Jetsons thing.
Exactly. His big ass got out of that car and he was like, hey Coop, I was trying to talk to somebody. He was like, listen, I know he wanted to be like, I'm just trying to sneak, get on my way. I can't hear. Like, shit. Like, I put this on and I can't hear nothing.
Yeah. And right there, actually, that little meetup they have there is right when he had dropped her off for work, and she's looking at her Pit Boy because she's noticed that it keeps going.
It keeps transmitting. Like it's transmitting, and she can't figure out what on it is transmitting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Bud is like, oh, if you come inside, we'll fix it. We'll figure it out. And she's like, okay, cool. And so he's looking at her like, okay, all right, bye. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Mm-hmm. Shit, I can't hear. I got to go inside.
Let me go inside.
He goes inside and pretends he's going to visit her. And the assistant comes in and is like, hey, everybody's in a meeting right now, but if you sit here and wait, we'll be right back with you. As a matter of fact, there's one of our junior executives that wants to meet you. He's a really big fan, loves all your movies. And he was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll be sitting waiting. That's cool. Bring him in whenever. So he's like, okay, thanks.
Right. He starts listening in, and they're trying to sell this whole idea of the vault and why it would be best. And the shareholders that they're trying to get money from, they're wondering, okay, well, how can you even guarantee any of this stuff is going to work? Well, we can guarantee it. Specifically because of ABC, there's a couple people that talk, and everyone's arguing basically about it. Mm-hmm. And at the end, she's the one that stops it and says, look, okay, you want to know how the future is going? Think about what I do. I think about my daughter, about when it comes to the future and how I'm going to set things up best for her. And that draws them in. And then, a little bit more deliberation happens. And then she's like, I think we can guarantee all of this is going to happen because we will be the ones controlling all of this. Mm-hmm. We'll be the ones that actually push the button and make all the bombs go off. And right there is where Coop is like, yo, what the fuck
did I just hear?
And then who walks in? Hank.
Trash.
All of the tomfoolery he just heard in this fucking meeting.
Trash.
And yeah, horrible trash.
But the people in the meeting is what's really important, because all those people at the table are technically people that are the corporations that are in the games, that are really big in the games, and you have a problem with them in the games. Like New Vegas is Mr. House. He was the guy with the mustache talking about, oh, you're going to lose that bet, or we're going to gamble here, because he is the one who's in charge of the casino.
Agreed, Casey.
In New Vegas. And then there's 3 when you have I think 3 is, oh my gosh, is that West Tech or is that 2? I can't remember if West Tech is 2 or 3. I'm gonna have to Google it. I gotta Google it. God damn it. Because each person at that table is something that you encounter. And in 4, you have West Tech, you have Robco. Robco is everywhere. They make all the robots. So every time you see a robot running around for the militaries, it's Robco, it's West Tech. I got to look at these people because it's a whole lot around this table.
Listen to what they say, because once she tells them that we have hundreds of vaults outside of the main triune, and the triune is 31, 32, and 33, and outside of that, there's hundreds of them out there, all spread around the US, and they're saying that all of these high level executives from these companies that they're trying to buy into this situation, y'all can run these things however you want. And as you listen to how the ideas they have for running the vaults, that's when you realize, when you're going through the game, these are all of the damn types of vaults that you have to go through and see all the fucked up experiments and shit that we're running. And also, I think one of those companies is the same one that makes the Mr. Handies. Also,
that's the Robco.
Yeah,
that's Robco. Yep, the Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's so many. God damn it. God damn it.
Buds.
There, god damn it. It really is. It really is the dumbest name. But all those people are really important to all of the I don't want to say the enemies, but the antagonists to the Fallout games. And I thought it was really cool that they included that. It was such an Easter egg. It was such an Easter egg because everybody was flipping out. And not to mention the map. The map is accurate. The map that they were looking at for the vaults was accurate.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. And we have a vault here in Columbus, according to the map. Columbus and Cincinnati has a vault. That's all that matters. I was like, there are some states that don't have any vaults. I was like, damn, so everybody died? Mm-hmm. Damn. Oh my damn. Like, oh, y'all did, huh? Wow. Wow. That's amazing. But yeah, we didn't go back to Lucy and Max because once they left, because they did run into Thaddeus when after he got to the ghoul part, he fixed his foot with the magic juice, turned him into a ghoul. And he was like, hey, if you want a radio tower, then you need to go towards Shady Sands because there's a radio station that just broadcasts from there. You could probably use that. He was like, cool, thanks. And he gave him the fusion core as payment for the foot and the ghoulisms that he didn't know had happened yet. Surya failed the city. And so he was having a conversation with the DJ about the music. And he was like, oh, these are your friends that you called? And look up, and it is Lucy and Max. And a lot of people were like, I can't believe you missed all those shots. That's ridiculous. No, sweetie, that's accurate. Bro. That's accurate. If you have a gun without a scope,
stormtrooper,
and you are trying to, it's not going to everywhere. You have to have a scope to make that shit effective, or else you're missing.
That's horrible.
And so that's what happened. It was very accurate. I laughed so hard because I'm like, they right. It really sucks without a scope. You got to have a scope. And so after he like used up all of his ammo in his gun, he was like, oh man. And he took a step and he got shot in the neck with an arrow.
Right through the damn neck. And even he, as he's like you can hear like the hitch in his breath because the airway isn't flowing the way it's supposed to. He's like, why am I not dead? Because that literally was a kill shot right through the neck. That I'm pretty sure it crossed right into his carotid artery and out the other side. He should have died, but he didn't. So he takes the chance to pull it out. And me, when I was first watching, I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, dude, don't pull it out because then you're gonna bleed out. But I forgot he's on his way to the ghoulisms. As soon as he pulls it out,
listen,
he heals.
I put the map in there so that because Casey said she wanted to see where the vaults were. I put the map in there so you can show it.
All right.
That shit's hilarious, by the way. Because when he had it in his throat, it was whistling. It was like,
yeah. And Maximus was like, dude, I think you're a ghoul. And
he's like, oh no.
When the Brotherhood starts coming up.
Yep. And they were like, was it Lucy was like, oh, okay, they're here to help us. And he was like, they both were like, ooh, yeah, maybe you should leave. Maybe you should go. He was like, yeah. I give me the head and then you go. He was like, okay, it's just that whole interaction between the three of them was just so freaking cute. And he was like, okay, well, it's nice meeting you. I wish it could have been, okay, I gotta go, bye.
I mean, because he got it. Like, he didn't give any type of pushback on that because he knows if he stays and they find out about him, he is dead.
So they don't play.
Better off just being in the wasteland for as long as he can be until he loses his mind, which will happen eventually.
Yep.
Let me pull this screen up here. There it is.
This is the map.
So yeah, these are all the places where there are
vaults.
Mm-hmm.
And they're game accurate. That's the best part. They're game accurate. So all those vaults in West Virginia are actually in 76.
This is very interesting, actually, because looking at it now, like the only thing that's over like in the Northwest is Seattle and Portland. And the rest of that from like, what is that? Minnesota all of those, those are void of vaults.
Mhm.
I wonder why that is. That's interesting. Probably doesn't mean much, but it's interesting to think about because like everywhere else looks pretty evenly covered.
Look at Florida.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. The reds are, I believe, I think the red is the actual like where she was trying to pin them on the city, and then the blue dots were the dots from the actual map on the show.
Okay, from the show. Okay. So I was interpreting it wrong then.
Yeah. So the blue is right. All the blues are the vaults, or the white blues, whatever you want to call that. The light up spots.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
So you can make it, Casey. You're alive. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know that you necessarily want to be inside of one of those things, though.
Listen.
I mean, I feel like it's a gamble either way because you never know which experiments you're going to run up on.
Listen, I told you what's happened to me. I want to be the first wave. I still stand by that first wave. First wave, take me out. Like, I'm not playing. I like soap too much. I need to be clean. Okay?
I understand. I don't like being sticky or stinky and all that myself. I get it.
I can't do. But I think after that,
that is right along the time that this is actually right near the end because right after this, that is the final this is where Norm completes the side quest.
Mm-hmm. It actually gets into Vault 31 and tries to see what the hell is happening.
And that's where it fades to black once he walks in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So when we open in the finale episode, Maximus is back with the Brotherhood, and we see Dane again, and it's they bring up again that another person, another knight has died while in, or not died, but
just a member of the Brotherhood has gone missing or died in his care or his company.
Yeah. So they're almost about to like execute him right there, and Dane speaks up for him like, "Yo, hey, I actually did it to myself because like I was scared. I didn't want to go out there.
No, thank you. Bye."
Him if he's saying that he knows where the real head is because Maximus, he also took a fake head in there, so he gave the real head to Lucy, so she could get gone too because he didn't trust that they would actually look after her.
Yeah, he didn't trust what they were going to do with it either. He was just like,
that was a sound move on his part.
It was. He's smart.
Yes,
once.
Like chaotic neutral.
Yeah, you see me like smart. Like one time out of what was it? One time out of like 5, he's smart. He's fine. It's fine. Big brained it.
Every now.
So
and then.
He had the fake head. Lucy had the real head. And while they were showing him being on trial, they were showing Lucy walking up to where she needed to be. Like it was like.
Yep.
It's like going back and forth. But was it really interesting about the whole Maximus thing is that the head of this, I don't know if what is it called? Is it division? Is it company? Like the head of the
CEO?
No, because he's not a CEO. He's like a where you have you're in the army and you have your soldiers and then you have like a rank above them and a rank above them. I think he was an elder, but I don't know the equivalent to that in military.
Well, it was either corporal or lieutenant. I think.
Because he's not the top, but he is the top for that section. That makes sense. Yeah. So he took Max aside and was like, listen, I mean, don't get me wrong. You did some crazy shit, but I like what you did. You took initiative. You know what I'm saying? You put your foot down and you were trying to do some things. And I like that. And I think with your I'ma do thisness and my plan, we can come together, and create a new brotherhood. that's actually doing the things that I think that we need to be doing, you know? So if you go out there and get this thing and bring it here, then you can be in charge of all the people on the ground at my new brotherhood.
Yeah, he's basically looking at Maximus and at Dane to be like his right and left hands. And he really appreciated the loyalty that Dane showed in speaking up for Maximus and not letting him get shot up because of something that they did to themselves. So going through that, I'm like, dude, again, this is a cult. The way they look at things is so absurd because they talk a good game, but I feel like if they would have gotten that actual chip, it would have just been, all they're absolutely going to use it. They're not going to just put it on ice like they don't like technology. No, I think
I don't know if they were even able to use it, because that means somebody in the Brotherhood would have to have the knowledge of it. And the only people we know who have the knowledge of it are the Enclave, because those are the scientists, the actual scientists. Yeah. And we knew that she had the knowledge because she was the one who created it.
She was the one that
so like, I don't know if they knew what to do with it. They could have just had it and been like, smash, smash, smash. Nobody has it. Because I don't know if they knew what it was.
Yeah, even if they did keep it, they wouldn't have been able to use it because they don't have the codes for it. So yeah, I didn't take that into account for a second.
Yeah, but I'm just like, either way, he was gung ho, and I think Max went along with it just so he can have another chance to escape.
Yeah, right, exactly. he basically says that. That's exactly what he tells Dane. Like, yo, I'm like, at the blue thing, and once we get back to her, I'm gonna just go ahead and tiptoe, exit stage left
and be with her in her vault.
So I don't gotta be around no war. It'd be some other good people there. We can just live and love. And Dane's looking like, bruh.
Okay.
I tell you, but nah. Okay, no, there's nowhere safe. What you mean?
Okay.
And where you going? You think you leaving? What?
We don't do that around here. I just don't know what these means. And so
those thoughts were just so foreign for Dane to even process. Dane was like, nah, bro, nah.
We have things to do, and the things must be done. So we got to go do these things.
Right. Wheels
and
up,
then they head out.
Later.
Everybody loads up, heads out. He's sitting across from two knights, and they're just like, all right, we finna go in here and do this thing. It's such a mess. It's such a whole ass mess. Trash.
Horrible.
And then we get to see Lucy, who's actually made it to I think it's an observatory.
The observatory. Okay.
What did I call it before? It doesn't even matter. The observatory. So they made it to the observatory, and she's seeing some of the people, some of the ghouls that she helped release. It's like, oh, I remember them saying, oh, that's her. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that they noticed her, and that they remembered that it was her that helped them. So she was just walking through, seeing all these people, seeing all these kids, because for a whole ass vault that's supposed to be for procreation, ain't got no fucking kids.
No kids.
So she gets there and she sees all these kids and all this living, and they bring her up to see Moldaver, and she plops that head right on that chick's plate. I'd be mad though. You understand what I'm saying? Don't be doing that. That's a waste of food. Now I can't eat it.
I get it. Moldaver, she wasn't gonna beef over that. However, I feel like she should have. Because I wasn't done with my foods. Okay, I wanted to finish these noodles and rice, ma'am. I even had an extra plate out here waiting for you. What are you doing here?
You could have put it on your plate, not mine. And so she walks in and she sees her dad in a cage, and she's like, listen, all the things I thought about doing with this head, I thought about sticking a bomb in here and blowing y'all up. I thought about destroying the head, but here I am delivering you this motherfucking head so you can give my motherfucking dad. And Moldaver is like, thanks.
Right. And she goes,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
She gets it all set and ready to go as much as she can up until that last little thing that she needs, and she needs the Vault Tech access code. And she's like, so before we get to this, it's like she's teasing in the storytelling. Why don't I tell you how I know your daddy?
Which is the best thing ever. I'm like, yes, please, popcorn, drinks, ready. Start.
And right there is where Lucy, it clicks for Lucy that something is very off and there's some more shit about to be made known that she didn't know before. Because Dad pipes right up, freaking old ass Maudib. If you've seen the original Dune, you get that joke. Looking at her like, hey, Lucy, no, it's cool. Come on, we don't need to stick around for this anymore. You know, she has her thing. Let's just go.
Yep.
Sir, you're locked in a cage. Lucy doesn't have the key. How y'all gonna just go? Is there maybe something about to be said that you don't want her to know?
Listen, the way he's trying to distraction. He is trying his hardest to keep her from listening to what she's saying, but she is telling exactly what the hell is happening. She was like, hey, let me tell you a story a long time ago. It's a really good story because it makes all the sense. She was like, I work for this company and I made this. I was able to create cold fusion, this thing that provides limitless energy at the fraction of the cost of everything else. And so the company that your dad worked for, because the dad worked for, was like, snatched all of it, made it proprietary, took it all from her and put it behind an access code that only people from here can use. Why do I know that? Because your dad's not from here. He's from then, and he was frozen and woke up and met your mom, had the babies, and your mom was smart and was like, hey, our water is getting siphoned. What the hell's happening? She mentioned it to her husband, and he was like, oh, no, never mind. Never you mind. Never you mind. Just forget about it. And so she continues to investigate and thinks that people are back onto the surface. And so she leaves. She left with you and your brother and came to Shady Sands and saw what it was and helped build it into something really great. Just together.
She was happy to do that.
Happy.
Her homie. You know, Pops is trying to paint Moldova as this evil person. No, that legit was her mama's bestie.
Mm-hmm.
So the first word I said to this little girl was, "Hey, you look like your mom."
Mm-hmm. Which is also confusing for her because she was like, "WTF?" So now we know why she said that. And she was like, "Well, your dad came to find her, and she didn't want to go back. She wanted to stay here on the surface and help build out this city." And what does your father do? The same thing that Vault-Tec always does, which is destroy the competition. He bombed Shady Sands.
Yep.
Killed so many people, including your mother.
Including your
dead.
mom.
And then took y'all, bombed the entire city, and pretended like it never existed and it never happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, technically, he didn't kill Mom. Mom didn't die per se. But she ceased to be Mom. But what we do find out in the telling of this story as the camera is panning over, that fool that's been sitting at the other end of the dinner table has like that same necklace that her mom had. And she figures it out at the same time that we do. When we look and we're like, oh shit.
Listen.
They're in the cage, talk about no. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. She lying, baby. She lying. Let's just leave.
Mm-hmm. The rudeness. And she was like, listen, the only reason I have your dad here and he's not dead is because I need these codes. I need these codes to get this cold fusion popping so we can have energy and we can rebuild our society. And he has this code and he's not going to give it. So I need you to make him give it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this instant does prove how much he does love his daughter. Yeah. It does prove how much he loves his daughter because at her insistence, she only had to say it, I think, twice before he was just like, okay, fine, here, and put the code in, and it connected the two little pieces together, which is really cool because you put them together and twisted them. It says Vault-Tec. I was like, I see what you did there. Yep. They always wanted to know that Vault-Tec has a solution when everybody was ready for the solution and could like pay for the solution again. I'm like, y'all, it's tripping, dipping, and flipping.
Exactly.
Tripping, dipping, and flipping. But while all this was going on, the Brotherhood pulled up.
Yep. Right when she put that, it's all roads lead back to Thrones. It's almost like, you know, as soon as Herod finished building up Harrenhal, put that last brick in place. The dragons, hey.
I'm put my toes right on this wall and clinch.
Right on the wall. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're looking at the wall, don't mean shit to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna clinch it. Like, yeah. So I got that. And which is like the worst thing that could happen to this city, village. I'm gonna say city, to the city, because the Brotherhood just goes through and just starts attacking and killing. Just it's so horrible.
Like again, can y'all just try to ask questions first? Have some type of conversation, because it really just didn't need to be this. But this is how ridiculous some of these factions are. They're extremely fanatical, just for no real sensible reason.
Yeah, and a lot of people confuse the Brotherhood with a good organization. When they play the game, a lot of people side with the Brotherhood because they think like, oh, well, you know, it's like organization, so it's good to go out here. But I'm like, what are you guys organizing? So you're going around gathering all pieces of electronics, whether they are actual like computers, toasters, like anything that has a gear in it. You're taking it for what? You're not repurposing it really. You're just hoarding it
in a storeroom.
So that nobody else can use it. And I'm just like, well,
like so, right? Like so, let's say, okay, you're in a state. Your faction controls one state. What are you doing after everything's been taken care of? After all of your supposed enemies are dead, and you have this huge storeroom with stuff that y'all not using. What's your purpose after that?
Spreading, continuing to spread.
Just moving to another state and doing the same bullshit,
continuing to extend, because that was the issue with the crux. That's the whole entire story of Fallout New Vegas, that certain factions overextended themselves, and they had to whoever controlled Harrenhal controls, like, wins the war. Whoever controlled the Hoover Dam won. And so you had to decide how you were going to maneuver that, who you wanted to win. You had to figure that out in the course of you playing the game and making decisions. So that's pretty much what it was. They kept spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading until they overextended themselves, which is why, and that was for both sides, or all four sides, that they were overextending themselves trying to get the reach on. So yeah, that's what they plan on doing. They plan on taking over the entire United States and just setting up a new country under that. It's real ridiculous. Like, it's real ridiculous. It's big time ridiculous.
For a while, it seems that they had that, though, because that's what they were always saying. Like, oh, you know, we used to rule the wastelands. I mean, all right, but then you didn't have something to do, because there was barely anything here, and people don't want to join up like you wanted them to join up anymore. So no one really sees you as that great of a people. So I don't know what you're still doing here.
No, but they destroy everything. It sucks.
It's horrible. It really is. Like, y'all, if you really are trying to get things back to some type of betterness, then this you can't stay on the same trajectory that you're on, bro, because it don't make sense.
But while all the shenanigans is going down, our favorite person, Coop, shows up. Coop shows up and was like, "Well, look at y'all here."
Okay, hold on. Bill Kills. Hello, greetings. And is it my fave from Prime thus far?
I just love Fallout. I can't decide that.
Number one, but they are definitely in my top 3.
What's your one?
Of Prime Zeros. I'm not sure yet. I have this The Wheel of Time.
Ooh, Expanse. Yeah.
And The Boys. Oh shit! You know what? That kicks The Wheel of Time right out of there. Yep.
That's why I was like, I can't decide. I really do like Fallout, but I also like the Lord of the Rings show, even though a lot of people didn't. But I like the Lord of the Rings show. I
like the Rings of Power. It wasn't great, but I enjoyed it enough. And yeah, the Expanse. I think actually I have to give Expanse to number 1. Expanse is great. Still waiting on those TV movies we're supposed to be getting. Hopefully
never. We're getting the Peaky Blinders movie before we get that shit. We're never gonna get him. I'm telling you right now, they're working on Peaky Blinders right now.
Yeah, all right, we'll see how it go. All right, so back here, yeah, Coop comes in.
Not
and
trash, JD.
I didn't catch it the first time, but I was rewatching earlier today, and Coop comes in and he's like, I remember these suits have a certain weakness. And he knows that.
Yep.
Because he used to be a knight.
No, he's not a knight. Not a knight. He used to use the armor for the United States.
Okay. Oh, no, in like the original
the original United States Army before. Not trash. He keeps saying trash.
He's talking about the Rings of Power.
No, he's talking about the Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time, it's not total trash. You stop that right now.
I'm like, he keeps saying this word, AK. Make him stop.
If you don't like it, then you don't like it. That's cool.
Make him stop saying trash.
No one makes JD stop saying anything. I will say that. I know my brother will.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so he was a part of the army, and the army used that when they were fighting through the annexation of Canada to fight in Alaska to keep the Chinese army from taking the oil in Alaska.
Yeah. Which is a whole ass other damn side quest.
Listen. It is. This is all pre-bomb stuff. But yeah, so he was in that suit, so he remembered. He was like, yeah. I remember them being.
And how absurd is it that they still never corrected that?
Well, you got to think about it. They don't know how. Know how.
Fair enough.
And Bud, who was in charge of that, moved to Vault Tech, so he wasn't in charge of that anymore. So
yeah. It's funny how with the Brotherhood, though, their standard is like, no technology except these big ass fucking mech suits of technology
and the vertibirds that fly,
and those helicopters that are machines that run on that technology that y'all say you can't stand, that ruin the world, bruh.
Just saying. So he shoots one right under the chest plate. And listen, I don't know what I expected to happen, but I didn't expect that. I don't even know where the blood shot up from his mouth. Like, it came out of his mouth.
Like, how? Like, what happened in the rupturing in the insides to make that be how it expelled?
Listen, I was shooketh and shocketh, and I was like, damn. And it was an accurate ass shot too, with his elephant bullets.
Accurate as hell. And I think he stumped all of them, because everybody stopped like, wait a minute.
Everybody was like, oh shit.
Right. They did not know what to do. And from there, Coop just went to work.
He hit the lights, and it was a problem.
A big problem. Because all of them were shooting at him. I think that a couple of them shot themselves down and didn't even know that they were hitting their own people. And then at the end, it stops. And did we get him? I don't know. I can't see shit.
Nobody can see shit.
The dude over there, that's half a ghoul, and knows that y'all don't really know how to fight. So he goes through and he runs down the whole room.
And while all this is going on, Max ran, which is good. Max got the hell out of there because he was up front, and he was like, "Oh no!"
Well, yeah, even going into the building, he made sure to stay behind one of the mech suits.
Yeah, but now the suits is in trouble, and he was like, "Oh."
He was like, "Oh, let me go on exit stage left.
Come on, I gotta go."
What's around this corner?
He did, and he found Lucy still kind of shell shocked from what her dad had told her mom, like the information that she just digested. And so Maxie, being the sweetheart that he was like, oh, I'm her dad. Let me out. And he was like, okay.
Again,
God damn it, Bobby.
Having one question. Maybe it's
damn it, Bobby.
He is in that cage, bro.
Like, she didn't move. She didn't get him out herself. I would have asked, like, that's your dad, right? Right. Is that your friend?
Open that cage.
Is that your friend?
You know her. Y'all don't be these people.
Is that your friend?
These people.
Listen, And so they start to have, it's like she starts to step out of it and have a conversation. Like, I don't want to go anywhere with him. I don't want to go anywhere with him because my dad, he did this. He bombed Shady Sands. And while they were talking, like a headless suit was on the ground. And so he took the damn body out of that. He popped open the back, took the body out, jumped his ass in. Whee! And was like, we got to go, Lucy.
Maximus, I feel like sometimes if you're going to just shoot, then you need to do that without all of the fanfare and the yelling and the, oh, you killed my father, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that.
Just move.
Especially
make your move.
Looking at someone with that suit on and you know what can happen if you're hit by that suit. And he does the stupid thing. He yells
mollywopped him.
Shoot, and he just backhands him.
Into a metal, like into a concrete stand, like bang!
Into a concussion. And now he is out for the count. Out.
And so her dad is trying to convince Lucy to go with him, and she's like, "I'm not going with you. I don't want to go with you. You're trash, Dad. Dad, you're trash. You killed all these people. You're trash." And right as in the negotiation, he was like, "I'm getting really sick and tired of this shit. Here comes Coop." She's like, "I remember you, young Henry. Did you want another autograph?" I'm like, "Oh shit."
I was talking about this boy used to go and get my wife's coffee.
Oh no.
I said, oh, wait a minute.
Oh no. Oh no.
And Coop comes in immediately with the smoke, like, yo, I've been out here in this wasteland for these past couple weeks, and I have only had one burning question. And wouldn't you know, you are one of the only motherfuckers that can answer this question for me.
Amen. What is the question?
Where the fuck is my family?
Which is appropriate. Because we all know, we were trying to figure out, like, what in the hell? Like, he's here. He, at the beginning, with the bombs dropping, he was with his daughter, right? He's here. Where is the daughter? We hear about the divorce. We see why the divorce happened, right? But how did he get here 219 years later and he's by himself? What the fuck happened?
Exactly. Where did the baby go? Because my first instinct is to think that she is in a vault, 31.
No, I don't think she's at 31.
Her mom, I don't know.
I don't think so, because we saw some of the names and the names weren't in there. Her name wasn't in there because they panned over, and then there was a whole list on the computer and their names were not in there. So there's more than one. We call them, what are they called? Oh God.
One of Bud's. You think he has another?
No, because she's not one of the Buds. She's considered already an exec. Those were the junior exec, the people who were supposed to manage the little vaults. She is a vault tech exec, so she was someplace different. What is it called? There's a type of vault. It's not. I keep wanting to call it stationary, but it's not. That's not the right word. It's like when you have an experiment and you have one that stays the same, and the control vault. It's in she could be in one of the control vaults where there's nothing, there's no experiment, no nothing. It's just them trying to survive. But we do know that there's more than one vault. We do know that the control vaults are spread out over the US, and there's only a handful of them.
Yeah.
So that's the question.
Are even still functioning now?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the appropriate question. Where is she? Where are they?
Daddy does not answer because he's bitch made, and he just decides to run away when the rest of the Brotherhood comes in. And yeah, so he skedaddles, takes one last look back, and there's a couple minutes of conversation between Lucy and Coop, and he posts the question again, like, hey, I mean, look, I'm trying to go get these answers from that dickhead. I had a hunch that y'all was connected. I didn't know, but now I know for sure. It seems like you need some answers too.
Exactly.
You want to come with? And she tries to get Maximus up.
He not moving, poor baby.
Successful.
Head busted.
She does her thing, okie dokie. here we go on this next leg of the adventure. And
Yep.
she up with a little bit of things that are around her, and she takes off with Coop.
Oh yeah, after she kills her mom. That's important. She kills her mom.
Oh yeah,
Leaves.
that's right. That's right. She puts her mom to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Then she leaves, and before the rest of the Brotherhood come in, Maximus does wake up, but Moldaver
Comes
walks
in as he's waking up, right?
Right. Yes, and she pushes the last button that needed to be pushed after the code
To
and that
activate it.
starts everything on the grid starts lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's I think she was already wounded,
Mm-hmm.
and she sits down, looks over at the ghoul corpse that was her bestie, and says, "Yo, we did it, Rose." What isn't that her name? Was it Rose? I think
Yes.
it was. Yeah.
Mhm.
Says, "Yo, we did it," and she passes away, seeing that at least that little corner of her dream fully realized.
Well, she also like dropped a little nugget of information for Max. Like, hey, like you're doing all of this for what? Like, do you even know what the Brotherhood is going to do if they get their hands on this cold fusion? Like, do you even understand what they could do? Do you want them to have that? Like,
Mm-hmm. And I think he in those few minutes, those few seconds that he had alone, I think he did say, you know what? Nah, but before he could even move and do anything, in comes Dane and the rest of the cavalry.
mhm.
And they interpret the situation as Maximus has taken out the biggest their biggest op.
Mhm.
He gets the title of knight for real this time.
Yeah.
And they start cheering him, and he unfortunately is just too in his feels to even really comprehend what's going down. But he didn't want that. He very clearly tried to stop it, but again, he's
Mhm.
through a little too much internally right now to fully process what's
Yeah,
going
but
on.
I was thinking that he was also kind of trying to take some of her words to heart. Like, even if he didn't want to, if he was in a position of power, he could potentially keep them on the right path
Possibly.
without abusing the cold fusion. Because now that he knows what it is, limitless energy, like,
How do you just put that in a container and put it on a shelf? Like,
exactly, like if they
because
dismantle it, that means no one will ever be able to activate it because they don't know. They
'cause they
don't
don't.
know.
Mhm. And that would be a terrible, terrible shame.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all literally have the right building blocks right here.
Mm-hmm.
Start fully getting back to some type of better world, even with all the radiation still out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
that ends up those side quests. Our last quest that we have to go through here is Norm, and Norm is his way into the thing, and he's looking around people. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Hey, hello, anybody there? And here comes this little damn brain robot that says,
You're not Betty.
you ain't Betty.
No, you're
And
not.
you only have half of his DNA. What the fuck is you doing here? Ain't nobody supposed to be here. You're not supposed to have this information.
It's very
You know
Deborah
what?
Cox.
You stand there real quick. Hold on, let me get this shot together. Here, I need to inject this to you. Don't look, but his systems are all messed up because I think he's been down there and not really getting the maintenance and upkeep.
No, he's just slow. That thing is just slow AF. Step on it. That's it. Just step on it. That's what it is. Because he's just a brain on a Roomba. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much what he is. He's called Brain on a Roomba until they tell you he's Bud. And then you'll see Bud.
Stay still. I need to stick this in.
No sticky.
Don't go back there. Do not open that door. Don't.
You're never gonna find out. Oh, he's gonna find out. Look at that.
Room. Oh, damn.
Damn. Because all he had to do was go to the computer and take a look, and he was like, "These are all like pods of frozen people." He was like, "Yeah, these are buds. This is my best idea. My best idea I've ever had, where we can just have people that we have taught and bred to be management, breed with other people to be management, to create a super manager to help lead our people in the future to a better vault tech." I'm like,
what type of delusion was this dude living as a human?
Well, it would have worked.
Thought this shit could have actually worked.
Had it been for those pesky kids.
You can't. No, I don't think you can ever make any type of plan like this when any long amount of time is put forth, because you cannot take into account accurately human nature.
And
You
just
do
like
not know what any one person is going to do at any given situation.
they were thinking that everyone on the surface would be dead from the bombs.
Yeah,
No.
really don't know
No.
human bodies work. Okay, it's called adapting.
Mhm.
Is it going to kill a whole hell of a lot of people? Yeah, but there's going to be some survivors. And humans are always going to human. We will always find reasons to have sex.
So he is looking at the computer and he's like, all these people are frozen from before the war.
Mm-hmm.
This is unbelievable. This is
Including,
ridiculous.
yeah.
And so he turns to like leave. He's like, I gotta tell everybody. And the door's shut.
You know what? He said, "Oh, I can't let you leave now, huh?
Bruh, exactly. I don't know what you had thought in.
Why
Exactly.
did he should have just ran. Like it doesn't make sense. Yeah, you would literally have to. It would have to be you and one other person, because if it's any more than like 3 or 4, no, human nature will kick in. There will be a struggle.
But yeah, so he's officially stuck in there because he can't convince him to open up. And I was like, he's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, here's a choice. You can either starve to death, or you can jump into your father's pod. What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I mean, there's no food here. I mean, I suppose you could stay out here and talk to me, but I don't need food. You do. Importantly, he doesn't need water. You do. So you don't really have a choice, sadly. And they don't show him getting into the pod, but I think it's pretty
at this point he's got to. There's no choice. He might be resistant at first, but eventually you're gonna have to jump your ass in there.
If it's either gonna be he's getting too thirsty, or he's starting to hallucinate from lack of food, or red roaches come in, because that's the only thing that he said comes in there. Like there's nothing here to eat like at all. I mean, there's the occasional big bug that comes by, but
there's nothing.
I don't know if we want that.
But even then, if he eats, he ain't got no water.
Yeah, and we can survive a whole lot longer without food or any type of real sustenance, as long as we have water. But he don't even have that.
No, so he would have to jump his ass in that pod, and I don't even know if we're gonna see him again.
For him, even if they come back and they pick up these storylines next season, there's no guarantee that we see him, because he might be in that vault. There is a character in the game that has some quests, and at different intervals he's in a cryo chamber for several years before being pulled back out.
But that's for looking for a kid. The only person who would know potentially where he is Chet.
And Chet's not gonna really want to bother too hard to go find him, especially since his wifey now, I guess.
Yes, is overseer of 32.
She's not gonna let him go nowhere where she can't see him immediately.
Nope.
So unless Lucy comes back at any point, or if Hank gets back there, no one's gonna know to go looking for him. Blind Al ain't gonna go looking for him. She'll chalk that up as a loss, and one less thing she has to worry about.
Well, I think if anything, she doesn't need to look for him, because Bud can tell her.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. You are correct.
Bud can tell her, like, hey, we got his ass in here because he was snooping around. And she was like, that's just a problem off my hands.
The main computer, there was a computer I thought that was like out there right in the hallway, because like right when he went down, he went around the corner. That's where Bud was, and that's where he started looking.
That's inside the vault, though. That was in the vault.
Well, yeah, inside the vault, but what the cryo chambers was in another room.
No. That's the actual vault. Like what he was walking in wasn't the vault. It was the path to the vault.
The hallway, okay.
Yeah, because the way it has it is like a hallway, a door, a hallway, and then a door. Just in case something were to happen in between here, they can just cut it off. So that's how it's always situated when you're inside of a vault. There's always a door before it, right before you get to it. So the place where the brain was the actual vault, and he closed him in there with him.
Yeah. He should have just kept that thing talking, or I don't know, while it was talking, maybe you just be a bit more aware of your surroundings and you just tiptoe backwards out the door.
Yeah, like he could have been talking to him and just been like,
You know what? For real, Like just step back. Yep, I get. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and run down this hallway and go back home now, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the other side of the door that you can't close. That
Exactly.
one.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Norm kind of set himself up for the.
He did. He set himself up, and I do hope that we hear of him next season, but I don't know if we're gonna see him because nobody knows it's in 31 except for the overseer of 32 and 33.
Yep, and that's Stefan Blind Owl. I mean, there is a possibility maybe Steph would want to go and get him because she was feeling his energy of like wanting to just go and mollywop.
Well, they're all dead now, and now she's in charge. So
why bring on a liability if you don't need to?
Exactly. Like, nah, he'll be in there. Yep, exactly. Unless somebody else gets in there and undoes it, or the vault loses power and shuts down, he gonna be in there. He's gonna be in there until Bud pulls him out.
Yep. And Bud's not gonna have any real reason to pull him out anytime soon, unless something happens to Blind Al. And another.
Not even then, because he doesn't have to pull him out specifically. He could be like, you know what?
You could pull out anybody else. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Like you're a problem over here.
Right. No. If I let you go, you might tell people.
Exactly. Like I don't want nobody snitches. Snitches get stitches. So let's keep you in here so you won't get no stitches. Thank you so very much. But that's not the last thing that happened. The last thing that happened in the series is you see Hank in the power armor standing near a city.
Oh yeah, that's New Vegas, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's New Vegas. Yes, it is. And this is like game lore.
Home then.
You said what?
He may not go home then.
Oh no, he's definitely not going home. Oh no. Oh no. He's looking for the people who are in charge, which is very important because the New Vegas game is about what happens in New Vegas. And right now, who's in charge of New Vegas at the beginning of the game is Mr. House, who was in the circle meeting. Him.
Okay.
So they already confirmed that Mr. House will be in season 2. So it's making everybody guess, like, what are they doing? Because the end of the game, you determine who wins and who keeps New Vegas. So if they're saying Mr. House is still in New Vegas, because this, according to the timeline, this is all after. This is all after the New Vegas game, according to the timeline. So whatever happened in New Vegas has been resolved. So if Mr. House is still here, see ya. If Mr. House is still here, that means he could have won. Or it could be that they're bouncing back and forth between what happened and they're trying to keep the winner like a mystery or like up to you. So I'm interested in seeing that. I'm so excited. They can do so many things with season 2.
Yeah, I think I will like whatever they decide to do. Because they did a brilliant job with this season. So yeah, I'm definitely in for season 2 whenever it drops, and we will be back here to talk about it whenever that happens. But currently, right now, that was the finale for this season.
Love it so much.
Yes, let's see. What do we? How many votes are we giving this?
I'm giving this. Are we talking about the episodes 7 or 7? Episodes 7 and 8, or just like the series in general?
Both.
Okay, so episode 7, that was one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna give that thing a 10 because let me tell you, I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat. Like every single thing, I was on the edge of my seat. That episode 7 was definitely a 10, and episode 8 was definitely a 10 because it gave me everything I needed. It gave us the wrap up. It gave us more information. It expanded the world a bit. I'm just like, this is the shit that I'm talking about. You stuck the landing. It was like, and I'm here for that.
It answered all of the questions and it gave us some more information, but not anything that was like overly extremely vague. So yeah, I will mirror your episode 8 and give that a 10 for episode 7. I'm giving it a 9.5. 9.5.
And for the series in a whole.
Series as a whole, I'm gonna go 9.8.
I'm gonna give that thing a 9 because I
Right.
like whole numbers, but it's good. It's good. I don't know how many seasons they have. That's a good question because they can do as many as they want to.
Could do, yeah.
They can bounce all over the United States.
Expansive, yeah. There's a lot they could do with it if they do it right. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just whatever they give us. I think they're gonna pull out another banger of a season.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up tomorrow, I'll be on. Hopefully, we can go on early enough with DJ and Fandom, talk about episodes 1 and 2 of The Boys, and then if hopefully I'll be on. But if they're a little late, I will also be on later on Thursday with Heidi on CostumeCo, chatting about some more dragon situations. And then Friday, I believe there's either Jackbox or Trivia, one of the two, on the Citadel of Trivia channel. And then I think it's a break on Saturday, and then back to Dragon Sunday for the watch along and possible after show, depending on what happens. And then Monday, me, Meeks, and somebody else will be here to sit and chat about the episode. Meeks, what you got coming up for this next week?
I'm still playing catch up from the week of hot hellion heat that kept me from recording anything in this hot box of sweatery. It was a lot. So listen, the way people are talking about Interview with the Vampire, I literally, I'm going to have to binge the whole season. I got to take a time to binge both seasons because they've already announced season 3.
I believe it.
They've announced season 3 officially. So I gotta get on that.
It is still on our discussion list.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think we slip it on it. We code it. We just don't have time to do it right now.
Mm-hmm. And so we're still doing The Boys. I'm still doing that one. I just put up the first video. The second video is going up tomorrow. Of course, House of the Dragon. I'm getting ready to start season 5 of Fringe, wrapping it up, get ready to end it big. I finished all of Bridgerton, so that should be coming to YouTube and Patreon as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm watching My Hero Academia. I have to restart Avatar because I stopped because of vacation and all the shenanigans and the tomfoolery happened. Demon Slayer I'm still watching, and for the games I'm getting ready to finish Baldur's Gate 3. I'm getting ready to put up the last of Final Fantasy 9. I'm getting ready to start putting up Fallout 1, and I'm going to start a new playthrough of the Dragon Age series to prepare myself for Dragon Age Veilguard coming out this fall.
Nice.
And that's it. Yeah.
I have a Dragon Age game that I never started playing.
You should do that.
I should do that. You are correct. Yep. So fingers crossed that I'll be able to continue to do all of these lovely streams before I have to get a new machine, which it's on the list at this point. It's like solely breaking down.
As I die.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that. We would appreciate if you did not do that at all. So yeah, just set your notifications, folks, and come back for the tomfoolery, especially on Sunday and Monday for talk about these Dragon Streets, because we're gonna be out here. So yes, thanks for hanging with us for this season.
Yeah,
blast. And our next thing that we will be handling for the Wednesday show is The Boys, starting next week. We're gonna do episodes 1 and 2 on Wednesday. So yes, come in for that. And all the shenanigans. I haven't watched yet, but I've heard that there already are shenanigans.
Yes, there are.
Matter of fact, I'm about to watch it as soon as we get done here.
Yes, there are.
So appreciate y'all. Come back. Hopefully I will see you on Sunday, and if not then we will catch you on Monday.
All righty.